Hey guys, Mojito Beans here. I just wanted to give you a quick rundown of the patch, the first patch of Playtest 5. And we'll read it word for word real fast, and then I'll give you my thoughts. Changes. The ruins have been changed to a single layer dungeon, so the stairs will not activate anymore. You cannot go down to the castle from the ruins, but they have buffed the loot. You'll find blues and purples fairly frequently. It's a really good map for loot. If you didn't like the map, it's good news. You don't have to play it. You can go back to the castle. The normal and high roller dungeons in the Forgotten Castle are renamed the Howling Crypts and return to their previous appearance. So you can load straight into the castle. Your three-man group, it'll be just like last playtest. You hit the Howling Crypts and you load into that castle, and it's a full castle. It's really good. Fixed an issue where players could get stuck in an infinite matchmaking with no server list was selected. I think that's still happening. I'm having some issues where my matchmaking isn't going, but I mean, they're working on it. Fix an issue where Bard's Tranquility was not properly healing players. Fix an issue where arrows and bolts could not be sold in the shop, which is kind of annoying because if you get shot that and you extract, the arrow is in your inventory. Like it's plus 1 gold technically because they cost 1 gold each. Um, and you couldn't sell them to the vendor. You couldn't put them in your stash. You had to bring them back into the dungeon to get rid of them, drop them on the ground. So now you can at least get rid of them. Fix an issue where Jokester, Holy Aura, Slayer could stack unintentionally. So there was some bugs where people were abusing this. It was pretty bad. You'd run into someone with like plus 250 all stats. So that definitely had to go. Fix an issue that could cause the lantern to remain lit while wearing it at the waist. Kind of a big deal if you have a giant light at your waist. Blue light has been changed to yellow light. So when it released, the light in the castle was a very bright blue, like obnoxiously bright. It did not feel good. That was one of the, the big things that we didn't like in my channel. We were talking about it quite a bit. It was pretty rough, but they changed it. Fog has been removed from dungeons. Rest now only restores health that can be recovered by resting. They also nerfed rest a little bit. It was also restoring your spells. Like Wizard didn't really have to have meditate. It was a lot slower to rest your spells, but you could run something besides meditate. A lot of people were upset about this, but I don't play Wizard, so it didn't matter a lot to me. Achilles strike duration, a couple of spells and abilities were changed. Hunting traps now have increased duration, and skill checks are triggered more frequently. So they did change Ranger to where you only have one trap, but it has a skill check on it. And if you're not a rogue enjoyer and you're not used to using these skill checks, you can get stuck for quite a while. You can also move around a little bit. So it's like a stake, and then it has a chain. You're like a little chain chomp running around. You don't have much range, but you can move a little bit. So practice your skill checks because it can be really bad. Japanese can be used again. Um, yeah, I think they knocked it out of the park. I think the initial release of Playtest 5 was a step in the wrong direction. I think they listened to feedback, and that man, the amount of work they did in 24 hours to put this patch out is insane. I think every issue I had with the game is a complete turnaround. If you watched my last video, you may have known that it not only blew my hair back, it blew my hair off. I'm loving the playtest. I was not recommending it to, so I've been hyping the game up. In the initial release, I was like, yeah, I don't know, guys, hold off a little bit. I would not recommend it right now for you to jump in. But now it's like, yeah, bring everybody. This is the game we love. This is the game you're going to enjoy. And get your friends. It's like close quarters, goofy combat, and it's a really fun time. There's a lot of AI changes. I think the AI changes are good. I think the skeletons with the axe and the skeletons with the spear, they're kind of rough. They hurt. I think the crossbow skeleton, he's killed me several times. He hits really hard. Those are the three AI I would watch out for if you haven't played a lot of the three-man dungeons. If you haven't played the castle, I would watch out for those three types of enemies. The rest of the enemies in the game, not too bad. It's a good addition. The AI seems a little different. The aggro range is odd. Like sometimes you need to aggro an archer to get them to shoot so you can go in. And I mean, you can like kiss them and they won't aggro. But then you hit them and then they start shooting and there's not enough room to strafe. It's kind of a mess. So, you know. But I would say currently where the game is, bring your friends. It's a really good time. Just don't play Bard. Don't get sucked into the new class. It's not great. So that's really all I have for you today. I'll be playing for the next 7 hours or so on stream. Come check me out, twitch.tv/mojitobeans. Subscribe, like, all that jazz if you want to experience me more. That would be great. Alright, see you in the dungeon.